Alrighty, episode number 5. Alex has ditched me. It only took him 4 episodes. He's lasted longer with this podcast than he did with his swing trading. So,
I think it was a swing trade for how long? 2 days? 3 days?
Something like that. He was a swing trader for less time than it took him to record the video saying he was a swing trader and that he published it. So
yeah, he entered the trade and then he stopped becoming a swing trader before exiting that trade. And now he's in Dubai, renting Lamborghinis, taking pictures for his Instagram, because now all of a sudden he's a scalper. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So he's gone and taken some pictures of some great cars that he can afford from his swing trading profits. We love you, Alex. We love you. But yeah, I have got those of you watching on YouTube, you can see that I have got Jonathan and I've got LJ with me this week, which I'm thrilled to say. So those of you who are listening on Spotify and all the other platforms, Jonathan and LJ are from the Fivers live trading room. We all know each other through that, basically, don't we? So so welcome, boys. Welcome to Pipped Off.
Thank you.
As I said to you, we don't really have an agenda. We don't really have any kind of routine or anything like that. We just have a chat and a kind of a discussion about what's got us pipped off that week. We do have some stories submitted from the website as well, so we'll go through those later on. But yeah, how you guys doing this week?
Good. That's been a good week. Yeah. I'm super happy to have you. For you to invite me. I'm super happy to be here. Just like I said before.
I'm not sure you're as happy as I am that you agreed, because there was a point where you said to me that this is a shit idea. And you seem to have come round to it.
Yeah, because end of the day, if it's one thing that this world really, really needs, it's another podcast. So congratulations. I'm happy for you that you finally launched.
This is the ultimate FOMO. This is the ultimate FOMO.
Yeah, definitely.
We go and get a trade.
Yeah, because we had the conversation. Like, we're gonna start a podcast. I'm like, oh fuck it, Mike, not another podcast. It's like, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna call Pipped Off. I'm like, Pipped Off? That's the worst fucking name I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, and then you launch it. And I'm like, this is actually pretty good. And you know what? That name, it's actually pretty good. I love this. So now that you've started this, I'm going to be part of it.
now you're joining the FOMO.
Yeah, definitely. It's like looking at the bull market, the RSI, over bottom, like this is never going to work. This is never going to continue. Then this just keeps breaking out, and I get in at hopefully not the top.
Yeah. Oh man, beautiful. Yeah, no, it's all for just as I've said to you guys offline, it's to try and show something a bit more real, right? Because there's so much fake rubbish out there, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, we really need we need honest conversations in this industry, and I love the idea of just people being able to submit their anonymously their stories within the industry, and then we can discuss it. I think that's wonderful, and I feel like this world is just so polarized right now. I mean, conversation. We need to have conversations. We need to talk to each other in an honest, open way. I mean, it's right now we have the whole world is like either you're to the very far right or to the very far left, like you, Mike, and we want to make sure that we can kind of meet somewhere in the middle. Like LJ, you're a fundamental analyst. I guess you're kind of like you don't give a shit. You're like just in the middle.
I'm very neutral as a person, right? I'm always centered. I'm not Switzerland,
LJ's the mediator between me and Jonathan. Right, so it's quite convenient that I've actually positioned myself and Jonathan on one side, and LJ's kind of like the mediator between us.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying I'm far right, but if I'm not saying I'm far right, but if let's assume the world is flat, and then I would kind of like I'd probably fall off the right side of that earth. But I do love everyone. That's the thing. I do love everyone.
So you're a gay right extremist?
He FOMO'd into that one as well.
So let's not go there. Something along those lines. But I think like what I would love to see is like, imagine if you have like people in the trading space on complete opposite side of the spectrum. You have someone like me saying like, oh, can you please prove your profitability, something like that. And then you have the other guy saying like, I don't need to prove my profitability. And then it's like, that's a discussion that we need to have in this industry. I was scrolling through Instagram this morning, and it's like, I mean, we work in this industry, so obviously the social media algorithm, they give us the things that we want to see, and it's trading related a lot of times. So we scroll through the Instagram feed or whatever, and there's just this, this guy pops up and it's like driving a Lamborghini, it's like driving that Lamborghini around in Dubai, and it's like, oh, he's bought this car, he's bought this car, his deposit, withdrew $500,000 from my account yesterday, he's bought this new car, and it's like 19 years old. I'm like, oh, man, that's amazing, good on you. If you want to make the same amount of money as me, just click the link below, join my Discord server. And you look at that and you know it's fake, right? You know it's fake. But have you actually clicked it? Have you actually gone through the funnel? You know?
I've never done it. Have you done it?
Well, I haven't done it, but we have a friend of ours, a close friend that you know him. He's done that. Yeah. And he told me all about it.
Again?
Doesn't matter.
We're not going to name him. We don't.
So we're not going to name names, and we're also not going to name names for the influencers. But there's this guy, we all know him. He basically signed up for one of these trading influencers courses, right? Went through the funnel. It's for a trading influencer. He's probably, can we say, like top three most famous trading influencers right now? Probably somewhere up there, right? And you go onto his Instagram feed and you'll see that he's making $500,000 a month from trading. Is driving Lamborghinis. Like, he is not very old. Not like he's been working in the industry for 40 years and he's now a millionaire because he has a hedge fund. No. He's fairly young, and he's just been making this amount of money from his personal account and apparently profit from payouts, right? In the last, what is it, like 5 years, something like that. He but whatever. So this person went through that funnel, and it's an interesting process. It's a very interesting process. Do you guys want me to kind of go through what I heard?
Divulge it all.
Yeah. Let us know, because like a lot of people don't know about these funnels. Like, first of all, explain to people what is a funnel, right? Because some people might not even realize they're going through one.
Imagine that you have what's that called when you like that?
A funnel.
Thing. It's called a funnel. Okay, so you have a funnel. Imagine you have a funnel, and then like you spread it all out of social media, and it's like you take this link and you just throw it out everywhere, and people click this link and you get to a landing page, and eventually all of these links and all of these landing page will lead to one destination, and that is a specific product. In this case, most of the time it's a trading community. So they click these links that are everywhere, and eventually you come to a landing page where you're going to sign up to join a trading community, and you mostly sign up for a call, onboarding call, and then you get the prize to join the community, and then you join the community and all of that. So that's a funnel. So I've personally went through a lot of these funnels. You know me, I'm very impulsive. I spend a lot of money on these courses. I've went through a lot of trading courses. A lot of these funnels, joined a lot of these communities, but I've never joined any of the big communities because they're obviously fake. But this guy, our friend, he did start going through this funnel, and he shared everything of the process. So first of all, the process that he shared with me is the same process that I've experienced with other funnels. So they are following a blueprint, right? They're pretty much following the same blueprint, and maybe they have the same marketing agency behind. I don't know, but they have the same thing. So this guy, he books an interview to join the community, and he plays this role of being someone who's in a pretty bad financial situation. Because obviously we want to see like how ethical is this? Are they going to try to sell this to anyone? And are they going to sell this product to someone that is in a bad financial situation they're going to lose their job in 6 months, and they're ready to take out a loan on their mortgage to join this course. Obviously, that would be very bad, right? You don't want to do that. That's not the customer you want. Yeah. You don't want to ruin people's lives.
So this was the idea. Was that so? Our friend went with the story of losing their job in 6 months, and if they were to join this community or whatever, they'd have to use all of their life savings. Is that right?
Exactly. So it kind of goes into the interview. Says like, I've been trading for 1 year. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm probably going to lose my job in the next 6 months, and I have around $4,000 in my life savings.
Yeah.
And the interviewer goes like, "Oh, wonderful, pretty much. This is what we can offer you," and constantly like, I need to become like. The potential customer says, our friend says, I need to become profitable in the next 6 months because I'm going to lose my job. So I need to replace my current income with trading in the next 6 months. And this guy's like, yeah, no problem. No problem. Let me show you what we have here in our community. He opens up the community, and then he says, before that, he says, oh, I'm just going to give you the price. It's fairly expensive. It's $7,000 for 3 months.
Wow.
$7,000. That's almost not cheap.
2,300
US as well. US.
Yeah, but you can't really think about it in terms of the month, because what you do is you buy a course, and then you just get the Discord access with that course. So it's like you're paying $7K. So let's not divide it up by 3, okay, because you are paying $7K for a product. And then after the 3 months, probably what's going to happen is you're going to get a message saying like, oh, if you want to continue learning, $5,000 for 3 more months. And at that point, obviously,
discounted rate.
Yeah, exactly. And this person, it goes through the whole process, and I think there was like booked for a 30-minute call, but it turned out to be a 1-hour call. Wow. Because our friend had a lot of questions, and apparently a lot of questions that this guy could not answer at all. So when he disclosed that price, the person said, oh, that's a lot of money. And he's like, that's almost double of what I have in my life savings, but I guess I can take out some credit or maybe mortgage my house. And the guy's like, yeah, no problem. Why not,
Wow.
And I hear this and I'm thinking, well, that's not ethical. That's a bit problematic. But then to the interesting point, right? The person goes through the whole Discord community and shows all the channels and everything. And then our friend asks him, he says, you know what? I love this. I feel like this is exactly the type of thing I need to become profitable. I just need someone to hold my hand and show me a profitable system. And wow, I'm where can I sign up? I have the money right now. I want to close. And remember, the first thing the person said when the call was started was, oh, just people that close the deal right here in the call have a bigger chance of success. So I'm
no way.
Yeah, so our friend is like, okay, well, where can I sign up? Where can I do this? 7K, no problem. Is one last thing? Is one final request? I just need to see some proof of profitability. And the guy goes quiet. It's like, what do you mean? Oh, I just need to see that the mentors in the community is actually profitable in trading, because if they're going to teach me how to trade, I just want to see that they know how to trade. Just a small detail. Oh, well, you mean percentages? And he's like, what the fuck do you mean percentages? Do you know what an equity curve is? It's like, equity curve, the percentages? It's like, well, an equity curve, if you could just ask one of your mentors or this guy, the big influencer, could you just ask him to go into his broker and just show me the statement for the last 6 or 12 months and just give me a screenshot of the equity curve? Oh, I can't show you percentages. I don't know percentages. I can show you payouts from prop firms and these testimonials. I'm like, yeah, that's cute, but I don't, show me the proof. And they go back and forth like this for about 30 minutes or so. And eventually, the guy, our friend, says, well, that's the only thing I need. I'm going to give you $7,000 right here today. All I need is proof of concept, proof of profitability. And the guy's like, well, I guess there's not going to be any deal then.
Wow.
This is the biggest, like one of the biggest influencers in the space, millions of followers
It
across
wasn't this. The guy he spoke to was that.
Yeah.
It wasn't the actual influencer. It was like somebody from his team or something.
Yeah, someone from his team, and you never really meet that guy. You never meet that guy, and he's not doesn't really seem to be active in the community at all. It's just these other trading mentors that you've never heard about,
Yeah.
and they are apparently not profitable. So this obviously got me thinking. So if the biggest trading influencers in the space are all using the same funnel and the same process and no one's profitable, we have a problem here. Like, we have a serious problem within the industry where everyone's just fake. It's because it's so, I mean,
Yeah. Can I just ask you? Do you think that everyone's fake?
I think that the more money it looks like they have, the less money they make from trading. Because honestly, I know a lot of consistently profitable traders. I know people that make a shit ton of money on trading, from trading. First of all, they don't really have a lot of time to spend on marketing themselves and building the personal brand on social media because they're trading.
You're working. Yeah,
they're
trading.
working.
You're
Trading
working.
is a full-time goddamn occupation. You have to be an expert in trading to be a consistently profitable trader, which means being an expert at anything means working 40 to 80 hours a week on your profession.
Yeah, honing your trade. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If you're spending 40 hours a week on social media, you're not trading. You're making money from social media. So the bigger we can take someone like, I'm going to name names because I'm going to name names for the people that I believe is profitable.
Okay.
The good people out there. Tom Hugard. I believe that Tom Hugard is a proper trader. But then you look at his YouTube, the quality of the content is shit because he doesn't have the time to edit all of that and make it flashy.
Yeah.
He just goes on to YouTube, starts live trading, and make a shit ton of money. And then he says like, oh, fuck you guys if you don't believe me. I'm going to go buy a new car.
Yeah. And he's been around long before all of this started, right?
Yeah.
You know, so he's like an OG before it was profitable, before it was a thing, before it even existed to do this. And he's still doing it now, which shows you that, you know, that's where it came from.
Yeah, and I there's probably a lot of other people out there that are, but I honestly feel like that's the only person that I've seen do it in a way where I feel like, okay, he's legit. There's obviously people in the the Market Wizard series. You have Linda Rajke and people like that, but they are not all over social media and flashing their, because and I mean, let's face it, if you're, I mean, I saw a video on Instagram the other day with like a 19-year-old guy. He explains how he got his first payout from a prop firm, like a massive payout from a prop firm, and the first thing he did was buy a Lamborghini. And I'm like, that's awesome. I mean, that's awesome to be at that age and make a big fat payout and then get a Lamborghini. But where is he going to be in the next 5 years? To be a trader, you cannot only, be good at trading. You're running a business. You need to be good at finances as well. And the people that we see are just burning through their cash and the payouts through kind of gambling on prop firms. They are not going to build long-term success in the industry because they have no idea how to run a business. And that's the thing also with all of these successful traders. They know how to run a business, and they're busy running a business. All they care about is providing for themselves and their family through trading.
It reminds me of athletes and rappers, right? You've got the certain type of athlete that gets that big paycheck, blows it all, runs through it, and then others that are investing smartly, intelligently, that kind of stuff. Same with rappers. They get massive amounts of money real quick, diamonds, gold chains, supercars, that kind of stuff, and then it's all gone, right?
Yeah.
They have their little hot shot of 15 minutes of fame, and then they're done. So trading very much the same.
Yeah, no, I mean, we have to. Is it even possible to become a profitable trader? And if it is, how difficult is it really to become a profitable trader? I mean, I'm not interested in. I mean, I work in industry. I work for companies in the trading industry that would completely disappear if people would not be trading. So I am obviously in this industry, and I profit from people trading, be it if they are losing traders or profitable traders. I'm going to profit from that anyway. So
you profit from the existence of the industry. Let's just be clear. You're not going to profit from the fact that people lose money or make money. You're just simply, by association, you're making an income from being having a job in the industry, right? Like you do with the live trading room and stuff like that.
You're part of the facilitation, right? It's like being a lawyer. Like the lawsuits are not up to you. Win, lose, whatever happens, you just start the entity in between.
Exactly. But do you so then why is it so toxic? Like, because I mean, Alex and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago on episode 2, I think it was, and he just said, look, it's marketing 101. You just appeal to what people want, and you just target that, and you milk it, right? There's all the affiliate links, there's all the different ways of making money. Is it a bad thing? I don't know. I do.
Of course, it's a bad thing. I mean, you can sell a broken product, right?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Yeah.
Can you? Okay, so I many years ago I worked as a salesman in home alarms, right? Intruder alarms. So I used to go and knock on doors and basically, hey, let me in and let me sell you some home intruder alerts. I've worked for multiple companies in that industry, and
You're an expert in home alarms. That's good to know.
Well,
man goes from home alarms to trading.
Yeah. Well, let me just put it this: I know how to break into a house without. But I've sold good products and I've sold bad products, and I did not enjoy selling bad products, but I did enjoy selling good products. I'm working for the Fibers because we're selling good products. There are other prop firms out there selling bad products. I don't want to work for a shit company selling bad products, and they know it. There are traders out there who are not profitable. They're just scammers, and they're selling a bad product that does not work. Okay, I got to be careful because I can't say too much because obviously I work in industry, I work for certain companies, and I can't say too much, but we have a lot of information behind the scenes in this industry. When I'm 40, 50, I'm probably going to write a book, and just tell people that it's all, everything's just shit. Like, there's companies out there that doesn't care, and it's just, so it's all marketing. Like, sure, it's all marketing, but there's good marketing and there's just shitty marketing, and there's scams and there's not scams, And like, for example, we have. So what I would like to see in the trading space is we have companies that list prop firms, right? So you can go on sites like Prop Firm Match, right? You can go on there and you can see listed prop firms. You find the Fivers, you'll find the Funding Pips, you'll find FTMO, companies at the very top that has a functioning management, they have functioning financials, and they're actually vetted. And you can look at the testimonials and everything. You don't go buy an account at the prop firm at the very bottom just because they're cheap, because they're not going to give you a payout, because their whole model is about scamming you.
Do you think people know that though?
Well,
because that's the problem though, isn't it? Is that those firms at the bottom wouldn't exist if there weren't people going to look for the place with the most discounts.
Well, I'm buying accounts everywhere. It's like,
but you know what I mean? It's like it's like when you go and buy a car, right? You go and buy a car, and if you go and buy a really cheap, crappy one from 20 years ago, that's a bad example. I don't want to be held liable for naming poor car brands, right? But you go and choose
I'll just say MG. There you go.
Cheap,
Terrible.
Go and buy a cheaper car,
Terrible.
right? And you don't expect to get much. right? You go and buy a more expensive car, you expect to get something more, right?
Like Volvo.
Yeah.
You know, certain prop firms are not cheap, but then you have the, I would say, the greater confidence that you can trust them, that you're going to get a reliable service, that you can count on payouts and things like that.
I think that's actually a really good example with the cars, because even with the prop firm space, there's the cheap end, and then there's the egregious end where people want massive capital, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous, and they pay a fraction of the price for it. Places like the Fivers is very in between, right? So
Yeah.
the largest account you can get is 100K starting, right? Obviously it goes up from there, but that's that like medium level kind of Toyota, reliable Honda type thing where you're not paying excessive amounts for some high ticket car, which they end up breaking down, massive expenses with repairs, that kind of thing. It's that middle brand, consistent. It's going to last 20 years. It's here today. It's here tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the point is, you want to. Most people are buying a car just to get along. And so the same thing. What you should do in trading is you're trying to start trading and be here tomorrow and the next day and the next year going forward.
Yeah.
Right. And other people are just going for that, that hot money right now, quick, fast, blow it up, blow it down. They don't really care. And I think that's how those tangential firms, they rely on that portion of the market. But again, they're not going to exist in time.
So it's interesting. I'm looking to buy a new car right now. I'm looking to so I'm looking around on dealership and everything, and I'm obviously going to get
already
a
decided it was Volvo.
Volvo XC60.
Always Volvo.
Yeah, I could have told you it was going to be a Volvo without you even saying anything else. It was
Swedish. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I do have a Volvo XC60 right now. I just need to upgrade it to the new model.
Every Swede owns a Volvo. Like all the Swedes
before that we had a V70
over to Australia, right? They always come here and they buy a Volvo. It's like some patriotic thing. They're like, it needs to be Volvo.
Yeah,
let's keep the firm, the home firm running. Even if we're living on the other side of the world, let's keep them going.
Even if it's basically a Chinese company today, which pisses me off. That pipped me. That has pipped me off. Whatever. But like I'm looking at a car. I'm gonna test drive that car. Actually, right now, you want one pretty cool thing. You can order a car and they come here with the car. They take the old one and then you can drive for 30 days. And if you don't like it, you get full refund. That's insane. But anyway, and that's Volvo for you. Now, if I talk about trading, okay, so if you to join these communities and to buy a course like the one I talked about for 7K, that's like just walking past the dealership. Not even that, just looking at a picture online of a cardboard box with a Ferrari picture on it, and then you buy that. So people need to kind of smarten up. Like, prop firm payouts are not proof of long-term consistent profitability. There is only one thing that can prove a trader's long-term profitability, and that is a verifiable broker statement from a regulated broker. That's the only thing.
Audited, typically. Audited by a accounting firm, whatever.
Yeah.
You get that done. You go to your, pick your firm.
But then if you are let's say you are that trader, right? The reality is, why would you care about proving to people that you're a profitable trader and getting yourself? Why would you go through the hassle of doing that? Surely that in itself tells you something, right?
There are traders out there that has done exactly that and launched courses and has actually confirmed. There are a few select traders. I actually only know one of them that has done that. He's a big influencer. Some of you listening probably know what I'm talking about, but recently, I think it was this year or last year, he launched a course, and he has been audited to have made like 100 million in profit from trading, and it's real, it's audited. And then there's of course a lot of talks about that not being real, but that's always going to be that. I don't know. I haven't looked at the statistics, but that's at least setting a standard in the industry. And I'm looking to, like we talked about, prop firm match being setting a standard because I've seen that they're actually delisting some prop firms, right? So what if you have this sort of you create a standard within the trading space where it's like the bare minimum that you can ask for someone that is charging you a lot of money to teach you how to trade. At least we have two options here, right? Two alternatives. Either you claim that you are profitable and show proof that you are profitable, or you admit that you are not profitable, but you sell a service much cheaper and you say something like this. I know how to trade. I know how to create technical system. I know technical analysis, and I am good at teaching trading because my students are successful, but I am personally not profitable. But instead of paying $7K for my course, you can pay $1K or $5,000 or $500 for my course. And I'm just looking for people to be honest in the industry. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have my community, and I remember when I first started selling mentorship, all right? I was not consistently profitable. I was inconsistently profitable. I saw some success and some failures, and I feel at the time that maybe I was not as profitable as I should have been to ask for money for mentoring. So this year, I decided to, everything I do, I give it for free because I feel like I'm not at the level as a trader to be able to charge for, to do, you know what? I don't want to put myself in the category of all the people I'm criticizing right now. And I feel like we need in it's industry standards for for these things, right? And I mean, I'm completely honest with my revenue model that I have in my community. What I say is basically, and I don't want you to add any link to my community or anything like that. Like, I'm not here to promote that. I'm here to promote Pipped Off, right? I don't care about that. But what I do is I want to tell you guys this because there is another way of doing this revenue model with being honest. Basically, what you can say is join my free community. It's completely free. I'm going to give you all the access to all the information I have. The only thing you need to do is buy an account at this prop firm or sign up to this broker and deposit some money and trade on that broker with the information I'm giving you. There are revenue models like that. And if you can be completely honest with that and the companies you're working for are good companies, people can still make money in this industry while being honest. You're not going to make as much money, but you're going to do it in an honest way. And I think that is going to maybe not create more profitable traders, but at least it's going to stop people from being completely scammed and losing, losing their life savings on this, because it's a lot of people are being destroyed.
Because that's the thing. I think there needs to be almost like a self-regulation type thing out of the industry itself, like that. Because otherwise, it's pretty much the equivalent of like a rent-seeking type situation, where they're offering something which is pretty much worthless, but packaging the piece as though you're actually going to get value from it. And then it's a churn thing, and it promises the dream, all that kind of stuff. And the trouble, like you were talking about with the products before, with the home safety stuff, the thing with other businesses and general marketing is there's sort of a stop point. You sell a service or an item, and that's kind of where the cap and the tier is. And if it's not good, you don't buy it again. Yeah. With trading, it's very obscure, like, because there's all these things like, oh, you just didn't have your psychology right, you didn't do this right, or you missed that right. You can muddy the water so hard, and it keeps people in this loop where it's almost like gaslighting, where you're kind of gaslighting them into not knowing whether they themselves are the problem, or if the thing is the problem, or what's the problem, or is the market, or just the regime, or the time, or because Trump's in, or it's so obscure, and then people just dump money endlessly into it, and you can completely ruin yourself. So that's the really nasty part, where you get to those really poor stages where, just like you're saying with your friend Mark, going into these communities.
Mark, where, we never said his name is Mark, but yeah, let's go.
Well, I called him Mark at the beginning, so he's Mark. He's Mark now. But whereas I'm gonna reverse mortgage my house or something to put this in, and gonna lose my job. And they're just like, oh, that's fine, go ahead. Like that's where it gets real nasty, So
you know what Mark told me, and this is something I've heard in other onboarding calls that I've been in myself. So apparently in this call that Mark was in, he said that they're talking a lot about information. They're talking a lot about if you use the information, if you digest the information that we give you. And I've heard this a lot, and I've heard this in other like multi-level marketing schemes as well. Like if you only digest the information, you're going to become a billionaire. And then if someone calls them out, they basically say, oh, you didn't get the information, you didn't learn the information, you have not studied the information. I watched a series on Netflix about a cult, and in that cult, as soon as someone starts calling out the cult leader or the cult-like behavior, they say, oh, you probably forgot to do this exercise, you need to do the exercise, and then everything's going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same. It's a predatory marketing tactics.
Like Scientology.
Yeah.
They say like, oh, you're ready for the next level. Pay us another $400,000 and you'll learn this next thing. And like,
yeah,
that's where you're hitting the wall. You need to go to the next level now. It's like,
so this is all the same thing. It's just that in trading, there's just no industry standard, which is surprising because you're basically telling people, okay, give me 7K and I'm going to teach you how to trade. But just so you know, I can't prove to you that I know how to trade. Yeah. And people are like, oh, yeah, of course, here's 7K. Because they want to, they see the lifestyle. Now, let's be honest, like some of these bigger influencers, they own the cars. They own the cars because they're making so much money from the community. Yeah. And one of the argument that I heard Mark talk about in the call was that, okay, let me, I kind of lost my train of thoughts. But yeah, so he basically said like, oh, but do you think this guy is profitable? Is what the interviewee asked him. And he says, yes, of course, because he has all of these cars and like, where else is the money coming from? It's not, if not from trading, you know? And then it's like, well, you do sell a product for 7K. So, I mean, that's quite a lot of money, you know? I mean, a quick calculation. I mean, we can assume that there's a lot of members in there. So we do 7K times 100. I mean, yeah, I didn't have to do that on a calculator but I am a bit retarded, so I kind of had to. But that's $700,000. $700,000, almost $1 million from only 100 customers.
Yeah.
No. And no, he
they got thousands and thousands.
Yeah, and he told Mark that, you know, they were talking about expectations of profits. And Mark's like, well, I would be really happy if I can replace my $2,000 monthly income with trading. And it's like, but you got to think bigger. And it's like, well, 5K, I would be happy with 5K. And then it's like, but this guy, he makes $400,000 per month from trading. And then Mark was like, wow, yeah, I want to make $400,000 as well. And then the guy's like, well, maybe should put you a little bit lower in the beginning, maybe $100,000 a month. So this guy's saying that within a couple of months, you're going to be making $100,000 a month from trading. And people buy this shit. They're like, oh, that's amazing. Here's 7K and my whole life savings and everything. Really? You know?
Yeah.
And
there is a part responsibility on the person buying it, because like surely when you hear that, you're gonna be like, okay, this is nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like a doctor. It's gonna come.
Yeah, there's enough people that, and then I mean, yeah, the other part of it is being we're on the internet, right? This is a worldwide global thing. So there's plenty of countries out there that have regulations and stuff that you couldn't do this. You did that in Australia and you're domiciled in Australia, straight to jail. Straight to jail. No question, very quick. It wouldn't last 6 months, right? You're done. And you'd lose any dollar that you've made on top of that, right? 100%. But the problem is, yeah, people can do this on the internet globally be somewhere that sort of doesn't have this protection, and they just go ham. They just rinse people. And the further part, what Mark needs to next go into, is the portion where they have all the, because it's not just them. There's a million lifestyle accounts doing content for them, pumping it further.
Yeah.
And what Mark needs to do next is go into those channels where they feed the individual content for it and pump it out to the clippers, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it really goes rampant, and that's where it catches fire.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing. You look into this and you see all the, because I did a little dive into it myself, and that's crazy.
You sent me a video of, obviously we're not going to name names, but you sent me a video of a guy testing out another guy's community. Do you remember that video? With signals? Yeah. I've looked into that, and they're helping each other. The video exposing the guy, because like everyone loves the content of like what we're doing right now, like trying to expose trading gurus, right? Everyone loves that. But the thing is, the guy exposing the trading guru was actually promoting the community. So that video became viral, but it only added to the funnel. So it's like it's just one big massive scam. I'm surprised that people like CoffeeZilla haven't made bigger things about this, because this is one of the biggest thing right now. It became so big during the pandemic, and it's just increasing, especially with ICT bullshit and all of that. And I was like, it's insane.
I sent you the thing with Google Trends the other day of like learn to trade, etc. That's it. It's double what COVID was. I was mega surprised when I saw that, because I surely thought COVID was the peak, but it's gone way up since then, which is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And the thing with CoffeeZilla, like he does some of that stuff, but he often targets slightly the wrong people, and doesn't. There are some people where he's targeted where it's like, oh, that's not quite right, because despite he's done a number of the trading, investing, stock market type stuff, he definitely doesn't have the full knowledge on one, the industry, two, trading itself, how things work, that kind of thing. And then, but the interesting part on that, like you were saying, Johnson, there are much bigger fish that are out there that are just so obvious, and he hasn't gone there, but he's gone after other people where it's a bit more obscure. And
yeah, but people like CoffeeZilla, he is not a trader. He's not a statistical, technical analyst or a algorithmic developing, person that knows what questions to ask. Like if you go on on an onboarding call with these communities and you ask them like, oh, what's the Sharpe ratio of the system? They're like, oh, what Sharpe ratio? They don't know what that is. They have no idea what that is. And it's like, if you don't. You're a trader, but you have no idea what Sharpe ratio is, then what?
That, or you drop the second one, like the Sortino, because some people have heard Sharpe ratio as like a, because that's the more common one. You drop Sortino and they're like, huh? What's a Sortino ratio, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this, guys, right? We convince CoffeeZilla or somebody else to do some massive expose on the whole underbelly of this whole thing and everything else, right? What then happens to the industry?
It becomes better. It only becomes better because trading is still going to be there. People are going to have better education, better opportunities. It's going to become less. Less people are going to be spending money in trading because they're obviously going to understand. It's like, imagine your kid comes up to you and he says, Dad, I want to become the fastest man on the planet. I want to become the next Usain Bolt. And you're looking at him like, that's amazing. I love you and I support you in everything you're going to do. And I support you in this endeavor. But in the back of your head, you know that it's going to be very, very difficult for him to get to that level. He might, like best case scenario, maybe come close to the top 100 fastest people in the world. But if you're top 100 sprinter, you're not going to get Nike deals, Adidas deals. Nobody really cares. You want to be in the like top 2 to really get somewhere. And if people understand that trading is sort of like the same thing, like you need to be up there. You need to be as dedicated and really understand that that's the level of dedication. You can't just buy a course for 7K and hope for the best.
Yeah.
You need to be obsessed. You need to spend 5 to 10 years of constant grinding because you love what you're doing. I love technical analysis. You know what? A good weekend for me is looking at the charts.
Let's hope your wife isn't watching this episode.
I love spending the Saturday night. I love her, but I also love technical analysis.
Jonathan's like hitting, and he's got his phone like over there, just flicking through the charts whilst he's from behind. Yeah.
No, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I did find out about trading, almost 10 years ago now, and I told myself that this is what I'm going to do. I got ADD. I have a thing where I can become like super focused and hyper focused on one thing, but then it kind of the interest disappears. But trading and especially technical analysis has been the thing where I don't have a plan B. This is my only plan. This is all I know. I've dedicated my life to understand the craft of technical analysis and trading, and that's what I'm going to do till I die. I know that. And if you don't have that dedication, then go do something else. Don't try to become a trader.
I think that's the trouble, like, because it's very ease of entry, right? Like all you got to do is open the thing, click a button, and you go, right? Other stuff, and it is very highly commensurate. Like everyone knows that. Everyone knows finance pays well. But the ease of entry is just click a button. Yeah. Like the only other things comparably paying are either you start a business, which is very hard. There's a slog. Even just getting stuff like things registered, that kind of stuff is like tedious and annoying. There's like law, there's medicine, all your traditional high paying, whatever stuff. Massive graft to actually get to the point where you're making good money. Finance, trading, investing, stocks, whatever it is, crypto, you can just click the thing, make money, cool, done, right? So I think that's the real trouble. And
isn't that the problem though? Isn't that the problem?
Yeah, exactly.
That it's portrayed as click a button and you're going to make money, whereas that's like the tip of the iceberg, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think also, one tip of the iceberg, two, even if it wasn't portrayed that way, because of how humans are, how people act, they will see that they can get that ease of entry and try and shortcut things. It is so simple to just lever the thing up and try and shortcut with no guardrails, because it's just you looking after that protection, right? It's very much like a business. Like if you sunk all your money into one thing and that doesn't work, you're out. This is very much the same, but way easier than getting inventory, getting it delivered, getting this, trying to market, right? So I think that's the thing. And the same, what you're saying with as far as the regulation, how does that affect things? Very tough, because it could actually be in some areas worse to a degree, because there's going to be certain countries that will regulate, and then there's others that won't. So then they'll just move to those sections, and these bad players actually get bigger because the people in good jurisdictions have actually been pushed out, and they're just not going to do it.
Yeah. What do you guys think then about because there's one of the big things that's across social media these days is affiliate marketing, right? It's one of these, it's grown over the last 5 years since the pandemic, right? And affiliate marketing is rife across the trading industry as well, right? You've got introducing broker deals, you've got affiliate deals from prop firms and all this other stuff, right? I personally have affiliate links because I see it as a passive income of, right, okay, if people know who I am and they want to get involved in trading, then I have an affiliate link with brands that I trust, right? Genuine brands that I trust, rather than just a scattergun of anyone who's given the best affiliate deal, right? So you could literally go to any prop firm and they'll have an affiliate program and what have you. But there are some people that are literally just going hammer and tong and just going full tilt on just spamming this stuff out. And I think that's part of the problem, is that you've got two different sides to it. That's why Alex and I wanted to do Pipped Off, right? Was first of all, we just wanted to have an opportunity to have a chat every now and again and just share how pipped off we were about our trading. but we also wanted to do something that was just, it wasn't so, oh, look how polished this is, and look, I'm going to get this top introducing trader that's so aspirational and so high level that it's just going to entice you to go and spend more money. We were like, no, hang on a second. We've both lost our asses. We both lost stupid amounts of money to trading, and people should know about this. People should know that this is the reality. Yes, you can make money. Of course you can make money. But it's not the the streets are paved with gold after a month. It just doesn't work like that.
No.
And I don't know. I don't know how or what the industry needs to change, but I do hope that there is some kind of greater acknowledgement of the reputable players, and some kind of, what would be great is, at least in the prop firm industry, maybe in the broker industry as well, I think would be good, is some kind of association. So I used to work in business travel, right? And there was the Business Travel Association, and you had different organizations, airlines, hotel groups, and business travel agencies. They were all members of this group, and they were all working together to, they weren't sharing their own trade secrets, but they were all sharing their own ideas and experiences, and working together to better improve the wider industry, rather than everyone's in it for themselves. And I think that's kind of, I mean, I don't know if that's happening. Maybe it's happening behind the scenes, but it feels as though that's maybe a little bit lacking.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we can take an example of a professional certificate, basically. So you guys know I'm studying for CMT, and after going through the process of CMT, I've gotten a lot of respect for people that have the CMT title, because I know that I know what it means to go through that. I mean, I'm studying for CMT 1 hour, 2 hours every day, and I've done so for the last 6 months, and it's very difficult, right? So I know that you have the title and you have the basic idea of the understanding of technical analysis. You have a broad expertise, kind of like in that area, and that association is trying to push the industry forward and set standards of excellence in that profession. I'm not saying that you can only trust people with a CMT title, not at all, but maybe there should be some type of like we have in the US. Obviously, you have to be a licensed financial advisor to give financial advice. You're not just going to take financial advice from some random guy on the streets, because you know that the guys with the financial advice title, I believe it's CFA or something, they have gone through a very long difficult process to get the information they need to give you proper financial advice. But in the trading space, it's like all you need to do really is you need to have a picture of a Lamborghini, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I think there needs to be, people need to wake up and kind of realize that, okay, you go to a doctor, you kind of know that he's a doctor. But if you go to some random guy on the street, ask you to operate on you, you probably say, can I see some credentials? No, I don't have any credentials, but I have a picture of a knife here. Like it's insane. It's just insane.
Do you think what? Okay, so do you think just people just is it the age old thing of, if it's too good to be true, it probably is?
Has that not been the case every single time?
I think people are coming round to it, right?
Yeah. But you still see it. Like you look on Twitter and or X or whatever you want to call it, that you still see so many people going absolutely crazy at different prop firms, different brokers, different influencers, and everything else. And it gets traction for about 5 minutes, and then it dies down. There's like a, it's like a rotationary thing. Like every prop firm, every broker, every influencer has this moment of one person just manages to get a bit of traction and get a bit of virality because they complain, and everyone's up in arms and everyone piles in, and then all of a sudden it dies down again. And it's like you just see it everywhere. especially on Twitter more than anywhere else, I think, because it's just everyone just piles into it. But isn't that isn't that part of the problem, that it is just all a bit wild?
Yeah, it is a bit wild. I think people are coming around to it. It's kind of like the crypto thing. Like everyone went, it was absolute mania, and now people are pretty informed that altcoins are just rubbish. It is gambling. It is degenerate. People
Are they though?
And then yeah, definitely 10, 20, 30x more than it was, right? And then
Maybe.
this is the next part. There's always going to be people that, regardless, they know what it is, they're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing in, like, if you have health and fitness, that kind of stuff, as a good example. There's a bunch of people that believe in all the random naturopath, random remedies, or some energy thing, but you still have medicine, which we've had for centuries, right? You've got other fitness, health professionals, whatever. But despite all of that, and you can just go on Google, look up, scientific papers, all this kind of stuff, they still just do that. They want to believe no matter what.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think there's always going to be that. There's going to be that core. If Mercury's in retrograde, it doesn't matter. Whatever, anything else matters, right? So
yeah.
What do you guys think about this? So there's this guy, I guess he's from the US. I don't know who it is. Some kind of futures trader, right? And I saw that he posted on Twitter last night. If I were to create a prop firm comparison tool website that gives a mathematical ranking system to all current props based on value and cost, time to pay out, etc., a prop score, and also review props and my experience with them and experience with the live programs, and it updates in real time based on sales, new products, etc. Would you like that idea? You plug in your parameters, it selects a prop that meets that criteria and gives a value score that you want. Or you can compare like 5 props side by side to see who the best who has the best statistics, I guess. It will use maths rather than opinions to really show what firms are the best. I mean,
where is he?
I guess it depends on where they're going to get it.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's all self-presenting.
I'm not going to give him anything. Right?
It's what I'm saying. That's why I actually replied to him. I said, "So how are you going to get prop firms to share their sales data with you?"
Yeah. It's like
it's like private equity. Like, you have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's private. It's not public. Yeah. They don't have to publish anything.
No firm in their right mind would
$100 billion
their sales figures and their sales volumes into a third party which holds all the data for all of their competitors.
No, not at all.
Yeah, the guy just had an idea. It was like, oh, the brilliant idea. Let's go to X. Like, maybe just ask ChatGPT first. I just do some brainstorming. Is this a good idea? Even ChatGPT would probably say like
1.0.
Yeah, no, you're retarded. No one's gonna give you that number. You know what I mean? Like, no one's gonna do that. But I want to just throw out a request here. If any of the 2 viewers that is gonna watch this are listening now, if you are a profitable, listen, if you are a profitable trader and you have proof that you are profitable and you have a community, I want you to reach out to me, because what you can do is I don't want to do this. I don't want to be face of this, but I would love to fund someone to do this. Or I got the money, I can fund ventures like this, right? So if you are a profitable trader, you can prove that you are profitable and you have a community, reach out to me and let's build something together where you become the standard of trading education in the industry. You can basically remove 99% of all your competitors if you become big and you tell people this is what you have to ask through the onboarding call, and this is how you can verify a profitable trading record. It's easy to do. All we have to do is set up a landing page, do something, and then you'll be the face of this because you're profitable and everything. Just let's do it. And if let's do it. If anyone listening and they want to do it, because I don't have the time to do it. I'm working on a lot of different products, but easy. This is easy. Just go on Upwork, post a job, hire someone to code this. All I need, because I'm making money from my company and the things I'm doing with content creation and working for different companies. I'm not a millionaire trader. I'm not making millions from trading, but I am making quite a lot of money from my investments. I'm better at investments and technical analysis than I am actually trading. You know, I'm inconsistently profitable. Sometimes I'm making 7K a month. Sometimes I'm not making anything for 6 months. You know, but if I can find someone who can show me that they have been profitable for a majority of their trading career, they can show me real proof of that, and you have a trading community, what's stopping you from eliminating 99% of all your competitors? Honestly.
Why though? Why do it? If you are, because that goes back
Because
to
you
my
don't care about
point.
money. Like, listen,
you
I
want to
don't.
give the edge away.
If you're consistently profitable, if you are consistently profitable, why would you need to go out and charge people all of this? And why would you need to even go and do that?
Because you might not be as profitable as you want. Your Sharpe ratio or your Sotino ratio, which is better metric by the way, might not be good enough for you. But you know that there's a potential for that to be good enough given to the right people. If you take that edge and you give it to the right people, they can become millionaires from your information. And you might make a lot of money from selling that information. There's nothing bad about that, right? If I have a trading system that I know has an insane edge, if I don't trade on Fridays, but I am stupid and I trade on Fridays anyway, I can say, hey guys, I got this system. As long as you don't trade it on Fridays, you'll become millionaires, but I can't do it, so I'm going to sell it to you. People are going to be like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll buy that. If you give me the proof of profitability, I will buy that right away. So there's nothing wrong with, imagine that you are a finance professor and you're teaching people how to manage their finances and create businesses, and then some of your students become millionaire because they use the information that you give them. You're still going to be making money teaching them, but they'll make more money, and that's okay, right? So, and the why, listen, we can make a lot of money, we can buy shit, and then we die, right? Or we can actually make an impact. We can change things. We can actually help people. We can do something with our time, you know? Not just go around and like what I... You know what I mean?
I think you can make a lot of money and still do that. Like, there's no reason why you can't. Like, the same reason when you've got like a really successful business, you go and make another business. Like, some people just like doing it. They like teaching, they like sharing, whatever. Like, you made 100 mil. Why take on another 2, 3, 4, 5 businesses to just do more? You know, some people just like it. Like, I think Alex Hormozy is a good example. How much content and information, everything he gives out, he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Right. He could have his own thing. Now, obviously, how he's orchestrated and structured it, that he finds deals and everything for acquisition.com through him doing that public facing aspect as well. And it filters into the rest. But he could absolutely just be dead silent and just do the other things. Right. And obviously they help each other. So I don't think you can't do it, but it's just one of those, you have to be very skeptical, because same in that business influencer sphere, there's a lot of sort of grifters as well. You go from what's the current thing, like SaaS and building AI stuff, or it was like, Amazon FBA things and all this, and like e-com stores to SaaS, now AI automation. Yeah. It's the same nonsense influencer grafty. Yeah. So it's not just trading that has it; it's everywhere. Yeah.
Sorry, those of you watching on YouTube, Jonathan's just lowering his electric desk.
I gotta sit down for this one. No, I feel like
I think for me, I think it's just a question of, okay, if you're going to trust somebody, do your homework, right? Don't just go all in, and don't go, full tilt on somebody without doing your homework. Don't just give somebody your money and just say, yeah, I'll trust you, and what have you, because there's more and more people making money from selling the idea of something rather than the actual tools and the things that you need to do it, right? Like I am the first person to openly state publicly, I am not a profitable trader. I've been trading for 3 years. I am still very much on that journey, and I don't profess to be anything other than that. But I think that I am authentic. I think that I'm sincere, and I think that's what's lacking in the industry is for somebody to be on that journey and going, oh yeah, this is really hard. That's the whole point of this podcast, is to talk about the reality of it rather than the illusions rather than the, you know, what social media will have you think is really about, you know. And you know, if it helps some people along the way, then great. Right now it's kind of just, it's like 1 hour a week where I sit down with you guys or Alex or whoever wants to join and just chat about what's going on, you know, and it's almost a bit therapeutic for me, if I'm honest. And let's stick it out there. And if, you know, if there's a passive way of making money from that, well, then that's an added bonus, if that makes sense, you know. Or if it helps some other people along the way, then that's also an added bonus. But I'm just getting something from it just by having the conversation. Do you see what I mean? And then whatever comes from it is you know, organic bonus.
Yeah, it's like cathartic.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
I think also we like in the retail space, we are, as a retail trader, you are basically doing all the work yourself. You know, we're talking about trading being a business. You're if you're a trader in most countries, you will need to set up a business and then take your trading profits through that business. If you're making enough money, you need to hire a accountant. So you need to pay the accountant, make sure the accountant is doing its job. You're running the business, and all that has to do with the business. So you're trading, you're running the business, you're doing technical analysis, you're executing the trade, maybe some fundamental analysis, you're doing research, blah 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 blah. You do looking at the statistics of your trading strategy. Now, if you look at a hedge fund, where they have a technical analyst. He's not a trader. You have the fundamental analysis, not a trader. Then you have an actual trader looking at the fundamentals and the technicals, executing the trades. And then you have a research department, you have accountants. They're doing all of that for the hedge fund, right?
Yeah.
And we have to acknowledge that some people can be fantastic fundamental analysts and bad traders. Some people can be really good technical analysts but bad traders. When you go on Bloomberg, etc., and you see all the charts, they're not created by people trading Euro USD on that chart and executing the trades and sending out charts. They are full-time employed analysts that are making a shit ton of money from analyzing the market and not trading the market. Is that a bad thing? Not at all. That's not a bad thing. They have found an edge in their
part of
career.
a wider machine. They're part of a bigger, you know, bigger machine, bigger organization where people with the attributes and the skills for each part of what you just described can put their best part forward, right?
And on that point, what my whole point with that is the idea that some people are just very good at executing a strategy, but they might not be very good at creating that strategy. So if you have someone that has the information, so let's say you have someone who creates a strategy, and then they sell that strategy to you, and you learn how to execute that strategy. That is actually not a bad. That's not a scam. That's not a bad. It's not a bad business practice, right? So in this world of trading education and gurus and everything, we have to understand that there are people out there, I'm sure, that are not claiming to be millionaire traders, but they're claiming to have profitable systems, and that honesty is lacking.
Yeah, and I suppose that's the ultimate question: is how can you prove to somebody that they can trust you? Because that's the other thing, is that you don't go down to a car mechanic down the road. Trading isn't like you go down the road to a car mechanic and you ask them to fix your car. Trading is very much virtual and online. You don't just go down the pub and meet the guy next door and he's a trader as well. It is a virtual world where none of the three of us have never met in person, for example. Never met each other in person, but we've spent the last year or so chatting away and getting to know one another and built up great friendships. But it's very hard to get to that point when you're all part of Discord servers and nobody wants to go on camera. Nobody wants to kind of, present themselves and expose themselves and everything else. And so all of a sudden you're just talking to a random avatar, a random username. And can I trust this person that they're going to give me the strategy that's going to work for me, or vice versa? Can they trust me? You know, that it is kind of a murky little world a little bit. And I think that's why people then go to the influencers, because the influencers are, it's somebody with a face. It's somebody that is presenting something, whereas we need a different way of presenting authority and authenticity and trust, rather than, hey, I got a Lambo.
Yeah. I think it's also about the revenue model of the companies. I think you can kind of judge if you look at a company and you try to understand what the revenue model of that company is, you can kind of start drawing your own conclusions. If the trading strategy and the trading community and everything is completely guarded, like the only way to even see a little glimpse of what they're doing, you have to pay a lot of money, then there's something wrong with that. You talked about Alex. What's his name? I can't remember.
Mark.
No, not Alex. The big influencer doing all the videos with the nose thing.
Nose thing?
About him. Yeah, you just talked about it. He's making a lot of social media. He talks about just making volume.
Oh, Alex Hormozi.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, right.
Oh, god damn it! Now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Because he wears the nose.
Yeah, exactly. The nose thing. No, but what he's doing, he's saying basically, if you think you're giving away too much for free, you're giving away less, way less than you think. Like you need to give away more. If you think you're giving away too much, you need to give away more. And so if you have these influencers that they are not giving you the trading strategy, all you see is trades being executed in TradingView, maybe with the replay function, or they're trading live. We see a lot of these influencers, you ask for profitability and they're like, yeah, just go to my YouTube channel, where it's trades just executed on TradingView. And it's
they make enough money from the other stuff that they can open up 10 different brokerage accounts, slap some money in there, put random trades. Some of those accounts are going to be profitable, and then they show those and don't show anything else.
Yeah, that's why. And they're pretty much you can see that sometimes an unprofitable trading strategy can be very profitable, and even a random walk strategy can be profitable, right? In trading, but very, very rarely do you see. Well, actually, never. You're never going to see that. You're never going to see a strategy with thousands of trades over the course of 12 months be profitable unless there's an edge. You can, however, see a strategy with 20 trades during a week be very, very profitable with random trades, basically just flipping a coin.
Yeah.
And that's the issue here. Yeah. So we have to normalize asking for proof of profitability if they're asking. And what is proof of profitability? And a 6 months unbroken chain, at least on an equity curve. And then you want statistics as well, because what if what if you have an equity curve, you have a result, all you see is a percentage. Okay, so here's my percentage. I made 75% last year. They're like, oh, nice, you're profitable. You made 75%, but you have a drawdown of 95, which is impossible because you're not going to. But let's say you made 30% and you have a drawdown of 40%. That is terrible. Yeah. That's not good. That's not good. You don't want to be learning for someone that allowed themselves to go into 40% drawdown with only making 30%. They would be kicked out of any major firms on Wall Street when they get 30% or 25% drawdown. On their personal accounts, fine. But you have to understand the statistics behind the profitable trading strategy. You have to understand, profit to drawdown ratio, Sharpe ratio, Sortino ratio. You need to understand those things and ask for those numbers to really, or
that's the thing. Trading. People don't like that. They don't like math. They don't like statistics. They don't like doing the hard stuff. They just want.
Everyone wants everything easy. They want everything easy. That's why the signal channels make so much money. The signals. It's just just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Monkey see, monkey do. Right.
Because there's the other side of the finance influencer space is people actually doing it, who either work in quantitative finance, they're self-taught, or they work at a fund or used to work at a fund or something else, and they put out bucket loads of math, statistics, quant stuff endlessly, and they often take these certain strategies of certain high-profile people. You code them out in Python or C or whatever you want to do, and then they show it's terrible. It completely fails, but no one wants to look at that difficult stuff because it's confusing. They're like, oh, they see like an A or a B or a C in the math, and they're like, oh, this is too much now. You know, they lose their mind.
Yeah, and you know, and I remember that Mark, he told me during the call that the guy holding the interview said like, but you know that this guy is not profitable every day, right? He has some losing days. So the idea is like, he thought that Mark only wanted to see him winning every day. Yeah. Which is like, you don't understand anything about trading if you think that's what Mark was looking for.
Yeah.
Like, the guy has no idea. Like, he mentioned, mentioned equity curve. The guy looked at him like, what the fuck is an equity curve? It's insane. And they're all sitting in Dubai. They're all Americans and they're all sitting in Dubai. Why? Well, we just talked about regulations, right? Because it's illegal to do what they're doing in the US. It's illegal. I tried to open up a legal signal service business. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That is it's not going to happen.
Same thing here.
Not without licensing and everything else.
Yeah. And in Australia, if you're going to do that, it's going to cost you like 75, 80 grand a year.
Yeah, definitely.
So either typically you have it because you work for a larger entity or larger firm that makes good money, or you've built up a personal business. You know, a lot of people doing in accounting type stuff, whatever. It's tax deductible, that kind of thing. But clearly, you have to have some kind of business structure where people are willing to pay you money to be able to afford that, like every year, because there's like an annual renewal for things as well. So, yeah, other places don't have it. There's no guardrails at all.
So I guess what you have to do, like I'm all for running businesses, and I don't really want to be that person that takes on that hero cape and like, oh, I'm gonna save the industry, I'm gonna do this and that. Like, I don't want to get into get in the way of people's business. I really don't want to do that. But I also feel like, especially like now when I'm studying I'm going through the whole CMT process and I'm reading the codes of ethic, I'm like, okay, so there's actually to be able to remain a member of the CMT association and have the charter, I am not allowed to go through these processes and not report it.
Yeah.
I will lose my credentials. I've at the end, I'm going to pay like $5,000 or $6,000 for this, and it's going to be like 4 years of my life. I want to keep that. And that's why the code of ethic is so strong and people want to follow that. So if you're in a hedge fund, for example, and you get information that one of your investors are, rewarding you personal gifts to write a slightly better report on a specific company, if you don't report that, you're gone. You're fired, and you're never going to be able to join the CMT association once again.
But it's the same with with all those other professional industries like lawyers, like medicine, everything else. They have all of these codes of ethics, and they have the licensing boards and everything else that make sure that things are above board. In all of those industries, you still also have in those industries people that are not licensed or doing things not above board and so on, and they get found out. That's why they're not as prevalent as they are in the retail space for finance.
Yeah, and I guess they're usually cheaper.
Do you guys think it's a ticking time, but not a time bomb? But do you think it's only a matter of time before stricter regulations come in?
Yeah, 100%. When I'm scrolling through Instagram, I get all of these. So I'm in Sweden, and there's a lot of finfluencers here, and it's just, yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is incredibly ridiculous. They're like just turned 18. Like it's like they're just turned 18 and they're like, now I'm going to open up a Discord community and start my own company. And they go to Dubai once a year, take all of these pictures, go back to Sweden, and it's like that can't be legal, you know. But and it's not. It's not. The financial authorities in Sweden has started to post the same videos. Okay, so you see that you scroll through and there's this guy comes up and he's like, I just quit my job after 3 weeks of investing in the stock market and I'm now a millionaire. And then it just cuts out to the financial authorities and it's like, oh, do you think that sounds too good to be true? Well, that's because it is. And then go through all the information how it's all a big scam. And I'm like, I would say I'm not the type of person that would kind of like agree with authorities most of the time and probably not, you know, but I like that. I actually kind of like that because in a sense, it's like it's making it so incredibly absurd that you start to figure out like, oh, that's absurd, but it's actually what's happening. You get these 18-year-olds taking a picture of a rent. They don't even care about removing the company logo on the rented cars anymore. Like it's just so obvious that it's disgusting, you know.
Yeah. But isn't that just because of the fact that nobody's paying attention to the details anymore? Like you're you know,
exactly. The same
Alex,
way that
Alex
we're
and I have
talking about
talked
the
about
math
it so many
stuff.
times.
No one pays attention. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, we talk about the dopamine hit that you get from doom scrolling and everything else. The amount of AI sludge videos that are out there now that are going supposedly viral on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's the algorithms are starting to twig on it and starting to kind of restrain it. But then, like, there are so many people out there that don't actually recognize AI generated stuff. Like they just because they're not in it. They're not exposed to what it looks like when you do create something.
I have to say though, some of them are really, really good.
Some of them are really good, and some of them are fucking hilarious.
The
some of them are very, very funny, right? There is some really good stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are people getting completely and utterly sold down the line of, oh yeah, this is genuine, this is real. You know, my mum sent me one of like animals saving kids, and I was like,
no way, dogs, right? Dogs saving like a falling shelf.
Yeah. Right.
Holy shit, my fiance showed me the same video. So look at this is cute. I'm like, damn, that's AI. That's the first time. Like I've been waiting for this moment.
Yeah. But that is totally AI. I said to my mum, I said, Mum, who would put a camera facing their TV and it's just going to fall down on a child randomly and the dog's going to protect them? It's just, you know, there was one where there's a puppy sneezing and a child farting and there's surrounded by flour, right? And the camera doesn't move. And my mum goes, isn't this cute? And I'm like, who would sit there with a camera not moving, filming a dog sneezing and a child farting? It's just not, that's not what's going to happen. Nobody's going to put a tripod and go, let's just film this. Okay, baby, dog, go. You know,
there are some real weird. You know the videos with people crying, where they like set up the studio environment, where like they fix all the lighting and they get everything perfect, and like press record, and then they start crying.
Yeah. But I mean, there's tons where you've got the AI avatars now, where you know they literally they're just doing an AI avatar reacting to some other video, and it's insane how much there is out there.
It's like the AIs, they can't. AI now is getting so good with the videos that other AIs can't detect that it's AI. That's the trouble. And that's where you need to do some kind of blockchain thing to verify that people are real. Because same with the influencer space. Okay, say there's regulation. Okay, they make an AI version of themselves, keep doing it, get someone else to do it, host it in some weird country. It's nothing to do with them, and they get some weird kickback through. Like there's so many.
Yeah, so end of the day,
that's what I'm saying is going back to that whole thing of if the average person on the street is unable to think for themselves that, like, with all due respect to my mum, she may or may not watch this episode. Probably she won't because she thinks she doesn't understand trading and everything else. But
Now we
she's,
need
you
to
know,
look her up and send it to him.
you know, she's retired, but she
mail,
was a respected head teacher, right? And you know, she's not
and
stupid, right? But she fell for this video because the logic didn't enter her mind.
I
To
did
think,
as well. I did as well.
is
The
this
first
believable or
few,
not?
like the first 5 seconds or so of the video, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, that's cool. And then I'm like, no, this is obviously AI. I'm like, this is
yeah,
AI. I did so as well. Now imagine 1 year from now, like
yeah.
Sora is so good compared to Will Smith eating spaghetti
Yeah.
like 1 year ago.
But
Imagine 2 years in the future.
if
Like
people can't spot that, then people aren't going to spot whether or not a Lambo has a sticker from a rental car or not. That's
and
my
you
Yeah,
know
point.
no,
what?
yeah, exactly. And this is the next thing. So exactly with that. So like you got Sora and it puts the watermark on. There's plenty
Yeah,
of AIs that then can take the video, remove the watermark. So
yeah,
then people are like, oh, it didn't have the watermark. It must be real.
yeah,
Um, and then same with the AI influencer thing. You can drop yourself into a thing in Dubai with the rentals. You don't even need to go there anymore.
yeah,
You don't
Yep.
need to actually rent the car.
yeah,
And now you've got content for
yeah.
forever.
And then
And
Absolutely.
you
you
could do that
and
with charts. Like imagine doing that with charts and making AI that creates candlesticks in real time going and you speed it up, whatever, and you
Yeah.
take certain trades. No one's gonna check. Be like, okay, what date was that? That was euro dollar on the 7th of the 11th, 2000 and whenever, and go back
It's
and look at the
it's
candles
just
to
going to
see
end up.
was that
Surely,
even a
it's
real
just going to
chart.
end up. It's going to end up being a case of cat and mouse, where I think there's going to be a tipping point between where, you know, viewers. You're going to have two types of viewers. You're going to have viewers like us who are going to like, yeah, that's crap, not interested, and dismiss it. But you are going to have a lot of people that just watch it like sludge, and it's just
yeah.
brain fat that just goes bleh, right, and they're just going to doom scroll it, and those are the ones that will keep that part of the industry going. It'll be a question of whether the likes of YouTube and the other platforms start to put in certain checks and balances
There's
when
money.
videos are getting uploaded, because you do have the metadata and you do have other stuff that goes into these things
Yeah.
when you do upload it. So it's a question of whether they're going to see the need or the benefit of trying to limit that stuff,
I think this is
And
a
then
perfect example of where we are going with AI. I don't think this is going to go away. It's just going to become more and more, and we're going to go into a future world where video content and any type of digital content out there is going to be almost impossible to rely on, because no one's going to know what's real, no one's going to know what's fake. The only thing we can really rely on is physical interactions with people, because we're going to get to a point in the quicker than what I think a lot of people think, that we're going to have conversations like these, and I think it's Mike that I'm talking to, I think it's LG that I'm talking to, but it's really not. It's just an
I'm
AI.
not even real.
Exactly.
Not even real.
So
Yeah.
the friends that we make online, we don't even know if there's an AI, if there's real friends. You know, my son's 8, and he keeps saying a lot of times that, oh, that's AI, that's AI, that's fake, that's AI. I'm like, no, that's actually real. That's not AI. It's actually real life. And I'm like, oh shit, you know. He looks at the news or the TV or whatever, and he's like, oh, is that AI or is that real? I'm like, wow, we're creating a world where when these kids are 15, they have no idea about what's real or not.
Yeah. I think it'll have to be
I think it's probably
blockchain
better that he
confirmed,
suspects everything,
right?
though, rather than
Yeah.
assuming that everything's real. I would say you're on a better pathway, that he is suspicious of everything being AI rather than just believing that everything's true. I think you're on a better pathway with that one. But then I think that also then leads us to a tipping point of where people just reject it, and then that's why the influencers do so well. That's why they're making so much money, is because everyone wants to be part of a community and to try and feel part of something that isn't fake, that isn't AI sludge and whatever else.
Yeah.
Gents, we have made up for quite some of the missed time that Alex and I missed last week when we recorded episode 4, because we cut short by 20 minutes because Alex had to go do something. So thank you,
in Dubai
gentlemen.
right now. He's probably, taking pictures of all the rental cars. He's building a library of photos to use because we all know that Alex is going to become a trading guru. He's going to launch his own community. He's going to become big on social media. He's going to become a trading guru. And let's just hope that he has proof of profitability.
The problem is that Alex still has this. I know that he still has this conscience of, yeah, if I go back and tell my gran about this, what's she gonna feel? What's she gonna
Yeah.
think? And
Yeah,
that's
but
the thing.
slowly,
Alex still has
slowly
he has that
stream.
he has that little kind of conscience on his shoulder that says, "Are you sure about this?" And that's why he hasn't done it until now, because he knows that he's not consistently profitable.
Well,
So,
I love Alex, I really do, but I think at some point in the future we're gonna be sitting here and I'm gonna be, Alex, give me a proof of profitability before I give it a 10K. And then he's
Gentlemen,
probably
we're
gonna be
getting
like,
Mark,
yeah, look at all these
to do an
look at
expose.
all these payouts. I'm like, but that's from your company.
gents, thank you
We,
ever so
we
much for joining me. I hope it's not the last time. Thank you ever so much. And anyone who's still listening, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks. Take care.